Welcome to Old Guys, Gentlemen Flex Fountain Pens, episode 69A. So this will be the first addendum to the last one. I had promised you a addendum episode. This will be a short one to my review of the Wancher Sun Pillar Macchia Rodin. It's still just as beautiful as it was yesterday when I reviewed this, or the day before yesterday. In any case, so I purposefully ordered it with a steel nib, and I mentioned about how I had another nib, a flex nib, coming in. So it came in the next day, and what this is a nib that a nibmeister by the name of Pablo at FPnibs in Spain modifies these nibs. He also has them with ebonite feeds, which is kind of critical to making sure you get the nice ink flow and stuff. I had one of his other ones that somehow Peyton Street Pens got a hold of one and had it up for sale. And I had that in another Urushi pen, and it writes really well. It's not as fine as I like, but it writes really well. So I thought, well, I'll get another one of these for this one. And they're not cheap. I forget the exact amount of money, but there's a base price, and then you pay extra for, so for instance, I've got a keyhole nib because I thought that was pretty cool and thought it might add to the flex. I ground the nib down. It came as an extra fines, and I asked for triple extra fine. And then there were two options, medium flex and full flex. The other pen I have is full flex. I made a mistake when I made this order. I put down medium flex. So that leads to a little bit of my lack of enthusiasm about this particular nib. When I got it, it was amazingly fine. I like that, but the tines were pressed together so tightly, and because of the sharpness of the fine point, with no pressure on the nib, no ink would come out. And when I did do any flexing, it was like putting a couple little knives into the paper, and it would pull paper up. So something was wrong with what they had done. I wrote them back and mentioned it, and he said that they test all the pens and this is the way they turn out. But you know, all I did was take it out of the package and put it in here. I'm not sure what happened, but I went ahead and got to work on it. You know, I've ground a bunch of nibs before. I've never added flex, but I've ground them and polished them, did things like that. So I did that on this nib, and then it kind of shocked me that things got worse. And I'm still not quite sure what I did, because I did the same sort of thing I've done other ones. I suspect that the grind that he uses for his very fine nibs is somehow different, or he does it assuming a different angle. I'm not sure what the case is. But it got to the point where I had a baby's bottom, which I guess probably isn't his fault at all. It must be something I did. And then I had to do some research. I never had a nib with a baby's bottom before. And what that is you got the two tines that are together, and there's a gap between those two things, and the ink doesn't flow there. So I was getting these dashed lines. I would pull the ink down, and it'd be dash, 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 dash. It was pretty weird. Anyhow, it's simple enough to fix that. You can look on the internet and it'll tell you how to do that. So I fixed that, and I don't know, I spent some more time on it. I was getting worried because, you know, every time you adjust one of these things, you start to wear down the iridium on the point, or whatever the proper name is for that material. But I gave it one last shot and got it down. So it is a medium flex. I don't know if it's triple extra fine anymore. It might be just double extra fine, but I'll show you in a second. And I went ahead and I ordered another one of these, but without any of the modifications, because his flex charge is fairly high and the grind for the nib is fairly high. Maybe not individually, but when you stack them all up together, this makes it for kind of an expensive nib. So I got another one of those coming. I also found a Jowo number 6. That's what size this takes. I found one at, I think it's called Carolina Pens, and ordered one there as well. And I think what I'm going to do is when I get that, I'll put that on here and I'll ship this off to either Michael Masuyama or one of the other nib grinders to put flex in it, because his nibs in particular, every time I get them back, they're wonderful. I've never had a complaint. He's an artist with these things. So, but let me show you where I'm at. This is still very usable and nice. It's just not the full flex, because I screwed up. I didn't order full flex. And I've lost some of the fineness. So. The railroading is because this has been sitting around for a while. So that's a pretty decent. I mean, it's like a medium flex, just like Pablo advertises. This is a Pelican 4001. Violet. Got a nice color to it. It's pretty dry ink. If I used a wetter ink in there, there'd be none of this. But that's probably because of the speed I was going at. Nice response. So, definitely usable, definitely nice. It's better than the steel nib I had in there before. A little feedbacky on the when I open up the tines, but a lot better than it was when I first got it. There was a lot of noise when I would write with that one. I'm not sure what happened with that. So that's where I'm at now. There will be an Addendum 3, but that'll probably be after Christmas, I suspect, because I need to get the new nib in here and then get it off to Michael, who has a long queue, and then I just have to wait till it arrives again. But then I think you'll see how cool it is. It's pretty cool right now. Just love looking at this thing. So anyhow, hope that had some value, and until next time, thanks for watching.